Hello everybody and welcome to the Tier 2 race at Bahrain Short. It's hopefully gonna be a really exciting race. But before we start the race, of course, we have qualifying. Excited to see what strategy people will be using. If people are going out on the mediums, maybe slipstreaming with their teammates. We will see. First one to go out is Arjen, the Alfa Romeo. So sorry if the audio is lagging or the game is lagging. This is really new to me. As you can see, it's lagging a bit. Okay, this is weird. Iron going back in. So we're looking at Isgidanis. And let's see what he can do. First lap of the day. Good lap so far. This is a really difficult corner, especially the exit. If you go on a throttle early, you lose it. Overall, it's a really difficult circuit to nail perfectly. But so far, it's a good lap. So, bit wide there on the exit. Last corner, very important. Oh! And he has on the mediums, but I don't think that's gonna be enough for this session. Isganes goes to P1 59.2. Mr. Norms with a really slow lap. I think he is going again right now. Maybe he made a mistake. and Mr. Norms has a 59.2. So it's already really close. Of course, it's a short circuit, so it is going to be really close, as we saw in Tier 1 last week. Un poco Jip Jip is driving right now. Currently has a time of 1 minute 0.5. What is he going to do? Ooh, not the best exit there, but he improves with a 59.4. Iron out again. Left the lobby a few minutes ago, but he's back. On the soft this time. He set a lap on the medium compound, but I think he realized that wasn't going to be enough. It could be if you have slipstream from a teammate, but even then it's really hard to nail. Yes, I think we're back. Let's check if we can get the game back. Yes, we can. But it's not quite working. Yes. It's back. F. Lewis, and P1 58.4, really good time. Couple of tenths of P1 from Tier 1 last week. And he's going back into the pit. Banter Brandon with a lap. What is he going to do? P2, 3 tenths off. Seems like F. Lewis has had a really good time. Smart there from Brandon. You have to minimize tire wear. Okay. My Wi-Fi is having a hard time. Okay, the quality of the stream is going down. So let's see if that helps. Ooh, Daniel really close. But not quite enough. Nah. Haas is going wide there. F. Lewis already has pole position, but can he improve? Ooh, that might have been track limits. Yeah, he slows down. Not that smart. It's really difficult to get a fast lap time, but then also do it in qualifying. You have that extra pressure. Cyrex with an amazing lap, 1:09.7. But maybe he isn't going to set a lap time because you want to start on the mediums. We have to see about that. F. Lewis with a lap again. Is it going to be an improvement? Yes! 58.2. Wow. What happened there? Skidani is retired from the session. Shadow nap. Okay, last corner. He's going back into the pit. So that was everybody, I think. F. Lewis with pole position. 2/10 up. And the championship leader, Brandon, P4. Doesn't have to be a problem for him. He's 15 points up in the standings. But if F. Lewis wins, not anymore. Daniel in P3 qualified second. Standings are really close, especially from second to fifth. So let's see what the race brings. Pole position in tier 1 was a 57.9 and in tier 2 is a 58.2. So it's not too bad. Pretty close. It's a short circuit of course, so before we start we have the formation lap. Interesting to see that Shadowknap picked the softs in P11. Soft gives you an advantage at the start, of course, but at this circuit they really drop off fast. So interesting to see that he chose the soft over the medium. And it's lights out. And away we go. Oh! Victor, really bad start. Wasn't paying attention, I think. Daniel on P1. Past Eva Lewis, but they're side to side in turn 1. And Daniel is in the lead. That other McLaren wasn't paying attention. The top 2 seems to create a gap already from the 2 Haas drivers, who are overtaking each other on the straight. Ooh, that was really close. What can Sevkov do on the straight? Isn't using overtake, so not going for the move. Victor is. Really wide line there. Oh! AlphaTauri pushed him off the track. Did he get damage from that? I don't think so. Daniel and Lewis driving away into the distance. While Benter Brandon is overtaking the Haas drivers, or at least trying to minimize his loss into the standings. Lewis not quite near enough for an overtake, but it's close. Victor around the outside, not enough. Cross back. Pushed, missed the norms, our very own tier 1 commentator off the track. That's going to be under investigation, I think. Did he get damage? Doesn't seem to have damage. While Benter Brandon is catching up. Has DRS, has overtake. Is he going for the move? On the straight. Is in front, but is it enough? The Haas tries to stay in front of him, but doesn't succeed. What happened there? Lewis! He was second. He spun. That's not good for his championship, but of course the race is still 53 laps long. The Haas driver catching up again. It seemed that Brandon had more pace, but now that he's in front, it's difficult for him to pull away. AlphaTauri there left the session. The Haas is not spending any overtake. Brandon got lucky there. Got DRS as well. Everyone is really close, but they can't seem to really overtake right now. That's a track limit. Shadow Nap out of the race. Not a good day for the AlphaTauris. What happened there? Yeah, he touched the curb of death. Well, we are moving back to the Haas. Oh, virtual safety car is out. So the Haas has to give back the position. Let's see if people are going to make a pit stop. Three-second time penalty for Cyrex during the virtual safety car. Not that smart. Let's see, is Daniel going in? Virtual safety car is over, so not really an opportunity to make a pit stop. Panther Brandon gonna overtake while Arjen is catching up. Brandon has the racing line and makes the move. Interesting battle here for P2, while Daniel is pulling away further and further. Yep, track limits again for the Haas. I think that's his second warning. He has low and overtake, but he's still trying. No, that's not gonna work. Really dangerous. Gets himself a time penalty there. And now Arjen is right on his back. Going for the move. Seems to be in front. Not quite, but has the better line. And he's in front. Can he catch back up with Brandon? I think Daniel's really happy with this fight, because he's just extending his lead while Mr. Norms made a pit stop and went to the hard tire. Don't know if he's still in the lobby because he's ghosting. I think because of the blue flags. Don't know why he's slowing down. F. Lewis past the Renault. Otis. And there seems to be a bit of a DRS train forming here. The gaps are closing down. And Arjen has a lot of ERS. Is he going to use it? Not yet. Is DRS going to be enough then? Late on the brakes. Cross back. No. Not enough. But he has more overtake. Brandon going a bit wide there. It's really bad for your exit. Going wide again. Maybe that's track limit, I'm not sure. And he's really close this time. So I think he's going to make the move. Well, Daniel's still in the lead. Yeah. Arjen going past. Can Brandon... Seems like he's really struggling with tire wear. We have still two medium runners, P9 and P10. If they stay close, they could have a huge advantage to the end of the race. People going in for the pit stops. Unpoco, Jip Jip. Die has. Going to the hard tire. That's a really long stint. I personally think that that the medium is better. Arjen with track limits again. Ooh, it's really close. Oh, Lewis goes for the move. Get hit, yeah. That's going to be under investigation as well, as Victor gives him a little push. Lets him back through. Not quite. Having a bit of a fight here. I think the front wing is broken. Yeah. Iron looking for the move. Not quite. Well, this battle is really interesting. Don't think they're best mates after the end of the race. And I think Victor is gonna get penalized for that. Again, contact. On the outside. Goes wide. Really hard fight here while the Force India, sorry, Racing Point, is watching. Aryan going in for his pit stop. Victor as well. Oh no, he isn't, sorry. The Renault going on a soft tire has an advantage right now. Not sure if he was on the soft before. Obvious penalty. Lots of penalties in this race. 10-second time penalty for Cyrex. Don't know what he's doing, but sure. Pushes him wide. Hasn't been a race for Victor yet. Cyrex 16 seconds of penalties. That's not good. Well, Victor makes a lot of contact. It's a miracle that he doesn't seem to have damage yet. This seems to be the closest battle at this point. Both on the mediums. Fresh mediums. Lewis made his pit stop as well. "36 seconds to the leader, so the Renault driver with the fastest lap of the race. On those fresh softs, of course. Can he close that gap to Victor and Aryan? Yeah, Cyrex really slow. No close battle at the moment, so we're taking a look at the leader of the race. Daniel hasn't made a mistake so far. Deserved first place right now. Well, Victor makes his pit stop. The Renault driver again with the fastest lap. 1:0.8. Well, Victor is behind the Mercedes. He has can't seem to catch up on those hard tires. Only 5 laps old. And definitely slower than a medium. So it's really pushing. If he can catch up by 4 seconds, he's in second. Daniel going for another lap. His tires must be dead right now. But he can take the risk. Since he's 5 seconds up in the lead. Yeah, he's really going easy on the throttle and his gears. I think his tires are really hard to control. But he is going for another lap. And that can be dangerous. If the Renault driver in P5 makes up some time. And Arjen as well. On those mediums. Er is geel. Yellow in sector 3. The Haas driver. He lost his tire. Is it going to be a safety car? Not quite. A virtual safety car, which really... It's an advantage for Daniel. Basically a free pit stop at this point. Brandon is staying out. Daniel's going to the hard tire. Bit surprising. I think you can definitely run to the end on the mediums at this point. Weird choice from the championship leader, Brandon. He could have made a pit stop, but chose not to. Well, he almost loses the rear. Bente Brandon is going to the mediums. Yellow in sector 1. Cyrex retired from the race. So we have 10 runners left. But no proper safety car. Penalty for F. Lewis. Speedy in the pit lane. As this is the closest battle at this point. But those hearts just... they don't seem to work around here. Especially those first 10 laps. F. Lewis doesn't quite have the pace yet on those mediums, which allows the Racing Point to catch up. He is close. Can he overtake on the straight? Yeah. He is using ERS, Lewis, but not enough. Tries to go around the outside. Has the race in line. That seemed like track limits. It's a slow race so far. No safety cars, no major events. Although the start was interesting. But now it seems like everyone has a gap. Racing Point going for the move. Is in front. Lewis outbrakes him. Can he cross back? Not quite. Lewis is really struggling on those tires. Doesn't quite have the pace on those mediums. This is a good fight. Well, we're halfway through the race. 100% of course. In normal races it's... Ooh! Ran into the back of Lewis. Normal races is 50%. But because this is a short circuit, we chose to have a 100% race. Lewis seems to have the advantage with ERS. Can he defend? He tries to. Racing Point has the racing line, but isn't quite aggressive enough so far. Yeah, really difficult to overtake around there. If Lewis is using everything he has, brakes really early and lets him go through. Can the Racing Point pull away? Let's see. No, no. Immediately Lewis back with the move. Again, sorry if the stream is lagging a bit. Oh! Big moment there. So we currently don't have any battles on track. The opposite of the tier 1 race around here. The Renault is catching up to Arjen. Can he get within a second? Does have slipstream. Not quite. Also has to make another pit stop. Oh, what happened here? Brandon seems to be an AI driver. Not really sure. Maybe we can get an update on that. Well, the Renault is in DRS range of Arjen. Oh, no big issue. Brandon had to go eat. Dinner was ready. Bit early. So I think he passed the game. But this can be very bad for him in the championship standings. He is still leading with 15 points. But if he doesn't finish the race, well, Victor also left the session, I think. Mr. Norms, not his race again. Yeah, those soft tires really seem to die off right now. And if he makes a pit stop, he's going back to P6, I think. Victor's Wi-Fi disconnected. And again, there are no real battles on track. It's a bit boring race. So let's take a look at the standings again. Also make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Worldwide Racing League, and TikTok is Worldwide Racing League F1. So if we're looking at the standings, it seems like Daniel is going to make a big step, plus 25 points, which means he will be first in the championship, overtaking Brandon. But it's still a long race, so not done yet. Well, we seem to have a bit of a train. DRS train again. Yeah, the Renault made a pit stop, dropped back to P6, as I mentioned. And is instantly into the danger zone. But of course he has that fresh tires. Panther Brandon still in P4, even though he is AI. P6 now, P7 soon. The Renault driver seems to have an advantage from this point onwards. Fresh tires. Yeah, I think Lewis knew that he wasn't being able to fight, or he gave that DRS away so he can pass him again on the straight. Renault has a racing line and fresher tires, but can't seem to make the move stick. But Lewis makes a mistake, and Savkov seems to be going for the double move here. Makes contact. Ooh, almost loses the rear. That allows the Renault driver to pull away. Ooh, Safkov doesn't leave any space for Lewis, and because of that, Aybjan can pass Lewis. Ooh, bad last corner. Around the outside again. Switch back. Not quite. On the inside. Ooh. He was looking, but Arjen made a pit stop. Is on the soft tire right now. So he might be catching up to the Haas driver in P2. As Daniel has a gap of 19.4 seconds. I think this is the easiest drive of his life. He might go in at the end for another pit stop. I think the tires of Safkov are having a hard time right now. 17 laps old. They're in that stage that they're dying. Arjen sets the fastest lap, 1:0.1. Yeah. Makes a pit stop. Safkov having a big moment again in the same turn. I think he's going to pit very soon. And if he does, he's going to drop back to P8. Yeah, Safkov going in for a stop. Lewis does the same. 24 laps old tires. But they are going to drop back a bit. While the AI of Brandon is in P6. Since those pit stops, there are a lot of gaps again. Unfortunately, 14 laps left. Doesn't look like there's going to be a safety car anymore. But you never know. Lewis is being lapped almost by Daniel. Ghosting is on, so but this does help him pulling away even further because he gets DRS. "12 laps remaining. Lewis overtaking the AI of Brandon. It seems like there aren't going to be battles anymore. Let's take a look at the penalties. Yeah, 3 seconds for P5, 4 and 5. Doesn't really put them in danger. As we go back to the lead, Arjen is catching up. It was around 20 seconds, now it's 16. But of course those tires are dropping off. We might see some people come in at the end of the race to set a fastest lap, because right now it's in the hands of the Racing Points get another penalty, which means that the Haas driver goes past him in the standings. Arjen has the fastest lap at this point. So yeah, we might see someone come in at the end of the race. Daniel, really solid race of him. Hasn't made any mistakes. Might not be the fastest on track, but you don't have to be, as long as you're consistent. And as you saw this race, a lot of people made a lot of mistakes. So if you're consistent enough to not make any mistakes, you have a big advantage. The Haas driver, which name I can't pronounce, let's call him J11. I think it's Joey. It's almost in DRS range. I think he even has DRS but didn't use it. Quite weird. Six laps remaining. Can he go for a move? Doesn't have to make a move. Since he only has 3 seconds of penalties and the Racing Point has 6. I think he decides to stay behind him for now. There's no point really to overtake him, so 3 laps left. Golf is more exciting than this race. Especially the last 20 laps. Curling. Penultimate lap. As Daniel's really preserving his tires at this point. 32 laps old. Same as the Racing Point. He's driving safely. Doesn't have to push. The Racing Point did go for the move. Even though he doesn't have to. Well, Daniel enters the last lap of the race. In this very exciting race. The last corner. And there he goes. Daniel wins the Bahrain Short Grand Prix in this amazing race. Absolutely stunning. Amazing performance from Daniel. Hasn't made any mistakes. A podium for the Renault driver as well. Arjen in P2. Had the pace but wasn't quite enough. Made some mistakes early in the race. Yeah, he's really happy with that podium. So that was the Bahrain Short Grand Prix. Let's take one final look at the standings, as the Racing Point driver is the driver of the day. Started on those mediums, I think. Made up a lot of positions. So a final look at the standings. Daniel in first, Arjen in second, with the Brazil flag, even though he's Dutch, but okay. And the fastest lap, so he gets 19 points. Banter Brandon not doing bits for the championship. So yeah, those are the standings. Next week we have the Hungaroring, Hungary. So yeah, see you there. Make sure to follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and